really enjoyed it. Nice folks. And I hope to try and keep everyone happy. And I think I'll just touch on some of the things that have been said here this evening. First of all, I'm not doing this project with intent to flip it. I know that was mentioned. It's very difficult to get me to let go of any property, much less one that I've put this much effort and thought into. Been thinking about this for years, for a number of different reasons that I'm happy to share with you if you want to know. I've heard a lot of talk about the historic corridor there, and I understand that, and I respect it. Carrie Doster, my uncle's big into historic preservation, and I have a strong value for it. I did historic restoration for 3 years. It almost killed me. I got out of that line of work. And if anyone was here was going to harm those particular properties, I'd be standing right with them in defense of those projects. But Highway 78 runs right in front of this property. Someone is hitting a jake brake around that corner right now. It's 10,000 cars a day that come through there. This is not a neighborhood. I originally tried to purchase property closer to the corner of Arnoldsville Road and Highway 78. They went $22,000 an acre. I mind for half that if they're interested. It's unavailable. There is no existing zoning on site 78 in this area that I could find. It's just not there. So I think it's a perfect spot for it. I thought long and hard about it, and I've heard a lot of talk about the comprehensive plan. I'm 1,000 feet from it. I'm 3 football fields from this location. And let me tell you what else is about 1,500 feet from some of these property owners. That's a liquor store. That's a cabinet shop. That's a mini storage, commercial office building, and then whatever the old A&A rental is. We call it the X-Files building. I don't know what they do there. Embryo still sells study, something like that. And a key property that just opened up, and I have seen no arguments about, is the property on the corner of Arnoldsville Road and 78, which is called, I think, Home Goods, which sells secondhand goods. And I didn't see a public outcry when they put that there. These are similar businesses, and I recognized, and from feedback from the county that I originally tried to get as I was trying to find a location for this project, was this corridor is business. This corridor is a business corridor. And I believe that it is. I don't believe that I'm going to have an effect on the neighbors there. I don't want to see clutter. Anybody who knows me or knows anything about me, I don't deal with riprap. I don't want it messy. Yeah, I own the old Johnson Ford. We pressure washed it last year because it looked bad. Still don't have any tenants in there. Any of the properties that I own, they'll time after time in winter, they'll drop by. I don't have a single plant in those greenhouses, but I keep it up. I don't want to see clutter. I don't want the corridor coming into Oglethorpe. It matters to me too. It really does. And I don't want these folks upset with it. But 65 acres, and all I'm impacting is this very narrow portion right here in the front. I've left a huge buffer around the perimeter of it. And I think that it fits fine, and I hear a lot of talk about Highway 78 and the movement of road. The only thing that I can tell you in my experience, it took me 4 months to get the plans. I finally had to go to Gainesville. I own property as you go into Clark County, and I was invited to the school years ago to look at 3 concept plans, and then I don't even know if the plan that I have currently is one of those 3. All I'm certain of is nobody can give me any straight answers about it, other than the fact that everybody I spoke with said it's been kicked to what they call long range. And I said, what does that mean? Because I saw it in the computer under the plan and dozens of others, and they said, we'll touch it for 10 years. So I can't base my business plans on a what if. I don't know where the road's gonna go. Wouldn't surprise me if they laid it all out and then changed their mind and sent it down a different way. They've been talking about it for 30 or 40 years. So that's what's going on with the project, and I'm happy to answer any questions that anybody may have for me at this time, or later after here from anyone else. Going to help anybody.
With your buffer on the front, what are you planning to use for your buffer? And I am not able to determine the footage right there. What are you using?
Well, similar to what Scott said, the particular plan, the concept plan, is too close to the curb, so it's going to need to be moved down closer to the straightaway. Don't have a large amount of knowledge in DOT and the guidelines, but I think it's 500 feet. I think we have about 900, so we're going to utilize that straightaway. But as far as buffers, woody ornamentals, everything from lower pedlums to pittosporum to evergreens, I want to be able to see some portions of the building, which you can, anybody can look at that plan. I don't make any money on this kid's park. It's not all for profit. This is something I wanted to do. I wanted it to be community-based. I wanted it to look good. I wanted it to look good from the street. So as far as setbacks, as far as I can, within reason, a lot of it's going to depend on the topography, where we come in with these septic and retention areas, but definitely heavily landscaped, clean, stained batten board, something craftsman style on the exterior, not tacky, nothing flashy. I'm going to try and keep it as rustic as possible.
But you don't have a specific 100 foot off the road, 75, 200 feet, you don't have,
It's indicating 100 feet, I believe.
I can't see it on mine.
That's correct.
My glasses are not strong enough. Okay.
It's 100 foot right now, and if we can do more, we can do more. I don't want to rob Peter to pay Paul and get too close to the back.
I can see it right now.
But yes, they're 100 foot.
Is this a business that you will operate or someone else will operate businesses on this property?
Well, I can't be there all the time, but I will be heavily involved in this particular business. But I keep a pretty close-knit group of folks that work with me. A lot of family members work with me. It's not something I'm going to outsource to a company or
It is
anything.
your business.
Absolutely. I have my name on it.
I mean, do you anticipate businesses there that will collect local sales tax?
I think so. I think the first thing I'm going to go after is something on the farmer's market side. And definitely, I think there's a lot of folks, a lot of skills in this county that may not want a storefront, but they want a place to get their products out. Might maybe be interested, a lot of retirees, anything from rocking chairs to high craftsman knives to, people that are involved in handmade products. I'm not trying to sell hubcaps. I want it to be clean, and I do have some control over that. I can't discriminate, and I'm sure somebody may want to sell something that I think is absolute garbage, but I cannot stop that. But what I can stop is what anybody sees, and I can certainly keep the clutter to an absolute minimum. I don't see anything from the road other than a nice building, a lot of landscape, things of that nature.
So you're not going to have a flea market there?
No, sir, absolutely not. I don't, that's not what I'm after whatsoever. And I think the concept plan, I hope, speaks to credit that statement because of the other aspects that I'm trying to do to make it more community-based. I want it to possibly spark some ideas that even the county can get some things involved, annual things. I mean, it sounds silly, but honeys and jellies and cook-offs and anything like that that would, draw good business.
Anyone else got any questions for Mr. Dawson? Thank you.
Thank you.
Concludes the sign-up sheet. As noted in the public hearing guidelines, we'll have to make a decision tonight, or it can be deferred for a period not to exceed 30 days. I don't know if everybody got as much information as they want to get tonight, or if they need more time, if there's more questions that they have. Certainly if they have more questions, tonight's the time to be asking those questions.
I would move that I'm going to move that we defer. I would like to digest the information that I have heard tonight. I've heard some things that along that zoning area that were put in there that makes me want to pause and give it some more thought.
Is that comment in the form of a second? Very well, have a motion to second to defer, do acknowledge that it will not exceed 30 days, so we'll either, if it doesn't fit within the time period of our next meeting, which I don't think it will, it might, then we may have to have another meeting. Is there any comments or questions, concerns with the motion and second? If not, then all those in favor of deferring the decision for a period not to exceed 30 days. And if it falls, I would suggest it be at our next meeting. If not, we'll just have to plan another meeting in order to make that happen. Can you confirm that for me one way or the other?
First Monday's Labor Day.
Labor Day
It's
weekend
gonna-
is what we're talking about.
It's gonna be beyond 30 days, our next meeting. All right, everybody's confirmed that, so we'll assume that to be true. So we'll just have to schedule time. So all those, did we take a vote? All those in favor, signify by raising your right hand, we defer to a later date to be determined, and not to exceed 30 days. Well, I appreciate everybody's input on those two zoning issues, and obviously gave some folks some things to think about that they didn't think about before they came in here or didn't get resolved, so we will address it at a later date.
Are you just gonna ask, you don't know me, or? You're just gonna ask? I can't hear anything. It's just sometimes, you know, that's friends of mine.
We still have,
Do you not know on the zoning board? Yeah, so you're one of the ones you need to talk to.
They're still trying to be.
fifth item on the agenda is the open records officer. I was designated open records officer back in 2013. And since that time, we have a person who's in charge of compliance, Mr. Josh Hawkins. I think it certainly makes more sense that he ends up taking most of these anyway, between he and Amy, is the secondary. I think Josh was the primary, and Amy be the secondary. But it makes more sense for Josh to be the official open records officer who would be responsible for seeing all open records requests for Overflow County and all officers. And I just think this makes more sense, and this has to be, so there's a resolution somewhere in this package. If you're so inclined, does everyone have a copy of that resolution? So basically, it's just a more formal process for designating that officer. I'll read it if you'd like, otherwise I'll spare you the time.
Offer a motion to approve this resolution.
So,
I got a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? If not, all those in favor signify by raising the right hand. Thank you. And the fifth item on the agenda is the public comment session. And I'll remind everyone it's 3 minutes per participant, and there's no discussion from the board.
I got 15 seconds.
All right.
I would just, in light of the deferral on that, I would be happy to discuss these historic resources surveys that were done for that 78 project with anybody that wants to. So I'm in the phone book, and if anybody wants to learn more about the studies of those historic resources along that corridor, I'd be happy to sit down with you with these reports. Not all of them are historic, just half of them maybe. But I just offer my services, and if you got any questions, please give me a call.
Thank you, Tom. Anyone else? Yes, sir.
Y'all don't mind if I stand back here, do you? I didn't get a chance to dress appropriately, and my hair is a mess, I know, so. Yeah, I tried to comb it, it just wouldn't work. Last meeting, I guess, brought up a discussion with the sheriff's office, and I don't know whether y'all followed it on Facebook. There was a further discussion about the vest for the sheriff's office. Now, an expired vest doesn't mean it won't work. It's just not as likely to work on at times. So Stacy Aaron started up a GoFundMe account, and the American Legion discussed it. And so the American Legion family, which is the Legion, the Auxiliary and the Sons, Wednesday's gonna present a check for $2,500 to go towards those. I just wanted to let y'all know. I also wanted to say, I disagreed with someone in the Echo who said he was embarrassed that the community had to do this. I believe that's what a community's for. It's not the government's responsibility to do everything for us. We gotta do some things for ourselves. So, appreciate the time to speak. Look forward to the next meeting, I think.
Thank you, Keith.
20 seconds.
Oh, let me set that.
I did mention in my comments, but I really do think the county should take a look at our code of ethics and consider seriously adding our contractors to the people who cannot have a conflict of interest in pursuing things to the board. I think that's going to be important to the community to make it clear. I think conflicts can be either a true conflict or the appearance of a conflict. And I think I would request that the county think about and maybe give some thought to amending our code of ethics to address that situation.
Again, this is not dialogue where we have dialogue with the speakers, but I will say also that, I mean, Andy, you made I think you made the proper motion, because there's some things that probably were disclosed tonight that need some more attention. One of those things in my mind was what you just said. I do want to note, I want everybody to understand that the only conflict we've had to date were the two that happened tonight. You know, and again, as you so eloquently said, Janet, it was not necessarily a conflict, but the appearance. And when there's appearance, and it happens, it appears to someone, and it's in between their ears, it's real to them. So I think that's a valid point, and I think that's something we'll look at going forward. And I hate to break, you know, our code here of not discussion, but I should have said that back when we were having comments, but I was preoccupied. Anyone else?
Billy and the board, my name is Townley Wilson. I live at 1936 Washington Road. I'd like to say, for the next land purchase, looking at the hundreds of acres that you purchased around the sheriff's department, why don't we consider purchasing some of that Wheeler property that backed up to the rec department and expanding our rec department for our young people and doing some renovations out there to those bathrooms. I'd like for you to consider that, because yes, the elders in the county have paved the way for young folks like me, but it's here that young folks that's at that rec department, they're going to be helping us, helping you and helping me. So as a county, as a resident, and you as commissioners, let's focus on our young folks. Just consider that Wheeler Road, Wheeler Circle, or maybe moving the rec department out there to that hundreds of acres. Just keep that in mind. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Anyone else? Douglas?
Nothing tonight.
Oh. Just want to make sure you had an adequate opportunity. Adam? I will say, you know, before we abandon the whole meeting, we had a lot of things going on. We finished that Buddy Falls Road project finally, thank God. And Adam's done a good job with that. And if you've looked at it, I think you'll agree with that. We saved ourselves a good bit of money on that project.
Yeah, that turned out nice.
And I think it's going to be very beneficial. We've addressed three main traffic concerns that were identified in our traffic study a few years ago. The other one was the one up here on 22 coming out, where it was a similar project, smaller but similar. And so at least we're knocking those off. And we'll tell you too, Phil, if you hadn't got word down in your area, we have moved in down to the Ralph Bridges, and hopefully the pipe will be here Thursday.
I ain't heard a word about it. No word.
They probably give up on it.
Oh, yeah.
But at any rate, that pipe should be in here Thursday, and hopefully we can get that in by the end of the month. And then we're finishing up our mowing. Those of you who live on the northern end, northeast end, have seen that. We should finish that up by next Wednesday, I believe, somewhere around in there, weather permitting. And then hopefully we'll get started on some paving and get that knocked out before the end of the year. So it's been quite a busy summer, and appreciate all the work that those guys have done and everybody else as far as that's concerned.
Is there any new information on Ralph Maxwell, his condition?
Yeah, I got an email today, and I'll be glad to share that with you. In fact, I should have, I guess, but his rehab's going good. They anticipate him being home on the 15th. They don't know why the hospital chose that date. Don't know if he's gonna be really in good enough shape to be able to do that or not. This is coming from his brother Scott. But I guess his rehab's coming along. He's very, very tired. Even having conversations makes him tired. That's not unusual. You know, Rita had a stroke here. She's actually doing very well too, by the way, and that's one of the symptoms that she has. She just gets exhausted with the least bit. But the good news with her, at least, is we have conversations, and she's working part of the day now. So that's just a symptom, I think, of strokes. But I guess he's doing much better. He can walk with the assistance of a physical therapist. And gained some strength in his legs, and apparently doesn't have any feel in his left hand yet, but, you know, sometimes I think they lose their hearing, but if you don't know this, Ralph lost his hearing when he was a young boy. And so he couldn't hear in the left ear to begin with, so he didn't lose anything there, it wasn't all he lost. But the sensation in your hand and your fingers, I guess, comes back last according to them, and, you know, so that's not necessarily a bad sign. But he can move the shoulder. You have to use one hand to move the other hand. You know. And for a man who uses both of his fingers, I think it's very important. I mean, all of his fingers. So I appreciate you asking.
Yeah, thank you for the update.
Anything else? If not, I'll accept the motion to adjourn.
So moved.
In a second. All those in favor, rise.
There you go. Every twice in 1 week, and you're lucky man.
I thought this was short. Get into it.
I just wanted to tell you.